Hello, everyone. Welcome to Voices of Wisdom. This is our final day. Can you believe it's our final day? We've had so many beautiful, amazing speakers that have just bounced across our screen for the last couple of weeks. And it is a pleasure and an honor to have our final speaker be Dr. Carra Sargent, who is going to be talking to us today. So this lady has been one of our authors for a long time, and her heart just speaks to my heart. She has a healer's heart. She's somebody that is going to stick with you through and through, and is going to be compassionate and loving and kind to you as she has been to me. And all of the ups and downs that she has also faced over the last year. She has always been present, always been kind-hearted, and always been willing to lend a hand if she could in some way. And one of the things that she has done here is she is going to share with us her wisdom. So please help me welcome the beautiful, the magnificent, the wonderful Carra. Hello.
Hi, what a wonderful introduction. I almost feel like showtime.
That's right. Here I am. Carra, tell our beautiful friends about yourself.
Okay, as she said, my name is Carra Sargent. I do have a PhD in counseling psychology. I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. And no, I don't say Nolans.
You don't say Nolans, okay.
Nolans. Hi, Alicia.
Hey, Alicia.
Anyway, I got my undergraduate degree in New Orleans from Dillard University, which is a historically Black university. I got my master's degree from University of Central Arkansas. I did my coursework for my doctorate at University of New Orleans and finished the dissertation at Providence University. I've been in counseling private practice for 5 years, but I've been a therapist for 30 years. I'm not telling you how many years because I don't want to tell you all that.
I'm not even going to tell you.
I'm not even get close. But anyway, thoroughly am committed to what I do. I think it's my gift. I think it's my calling. I think it's what I was here for. So with that, are we ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready. I am ready.
So I want to say good afternoon to everyone who showed up today. And I'm thrilled that you tuned into this final session of Carra's Voices of Wisdom. I'm so thankful to you, Carra, for doing this dynamic summit. It's amazing. I've been able to watch some of them, parts of some of them, and there are amazing presenters. And to those speakers, I want to say to you that I am in awe of you. I am in awe of your skills. And I also applaud your courage to be able to do this because right now I'm currently shaking in my boots. A weird feeling not to be able to see the audience. So it's a tad late on a Monday afternoon. And as we know, Mondays are holidays, right? So take a minute and we're going to start off by setting our presentation, our intent for the presentation. And what I pray for you today is for you to hear what you came here to hear today, and that we're able to plant seeds of information that will be there when you need them later. So if we can all take 3 collective deep breaths to allow that intent to seed itself, and then we'll get started. Thank you. Thank you. So all of my friends and family know that I am a huge, humongous Harry Potter fan. When the books were written, I devoured them. I couldn't wait for the next one to come out. I was one of those people who stood in line at Books A Million all night long. They would start selling at midnight, and I'd be there at 7 o'clock in line. And I remember one of the Books A Millions, they had a Harry Potter knowledge show, that contest that I participated in, and I won it. And this cute little 7-year-old started crying and said, Mom, that old lady won. And I'm like, I'm not that old. I can like Harry Potter too. So anyway, what I found was that I was mesmerized by her exquisite writing style and vivid imagery. It's like the imagery just kind of jumped off the pages, and I loved the way that Harry approached life with this magical, wild, wide-eyed excitement as he stepped off the train and stepped into his destiny and grew to know so much about the magical, mystical world in which he found this tribe. So here we are now, 10 years later, and I'm still a diehard Harry Potter fan. The reasons now are just a little bit different. It isn't so much about the fantasy, the magic, or the smoke and the mirrors and the veil of what is beyond that J.K. Rowling has written. It's because I now realize that Harry Potter gives us a snapshot of how to accept yourself in spite of, how to love others in spite of, how to be okay in spite of, how to survive in spite of, and above all, how to see life as a wondrous adventure in spite of. So in Harry Potter, the standard plot components are all there for a bestseller. Boy enters school, boy makes friends and enemies, boy falls in love, boy matures, fights what he believes in, boy loses girl, boy eventually finds another girl, gets married, grows into adulthood, has a family, and by implication, lives happily ever after. We don't really know what happened. I choose to believe it was a happily ever after story. However, if you allow yourself to step from behind that phantasmagorical curtain that J.K. Rowling has written, and if you allow yourself to experience the book through the characters' feelings, you find that the list of reasons that you enjoy the book are totally different. So, some of those feelings you might experience in the book is excitement and apprehension, uh, comfort and fear, first love, first heartbreak, new friends, lost friends, camaraderie, hostility, death, and then rebirth. If we take the whole library of Harry Potter books and look at them through those paired words, in addition to seeing a beautifully written book, we also see that if we view them collectively, that those Harry Potter books are simply a metaphor of life. It's interesting to me that a boy understands the concept of life in spite of better than most of us adults. And it's very clear to me that Harry Potter understands one thing very clearly, and that is magic does not fix pain. Pain
Mm.
is a process, something that we have to work through. So we've all been hurt, and we've all felt pain, and as a result, we all have baggage. And the older we get, the more expensive our baggage gets. We start carrying Gucci luggage,
It gets expensive.
right?
I love that.
Trunk sized. Giant economy won't even get on the airplane sized luggage.
You
But
don't want them to weigh it.
yes, that's right. That's what plane is. Plane won't even take it. Now, what would you do if I were today able to give you some pointers on how to lighten the load of baggage that you carry through life? Is that something that you would want
Yeah.
to learn?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
it takes practice. You sure you want to do this?
Sure. I'm
Oh,
I'm in. I'm game. Let's
all
do
in.
it, Kara.
All right. So let me tell you one thing I know about life. It's a mishmash of experiences, and no one comes out unscathed. So close your eyes just for a minute and open one of your pieces of baggage and just kind of rumble through it a little bit. Pull out a couple of pieces. See if you can figure out what pieces are there due to experiences that you have encountered in your life. What's there because you created it? Not because it really happened, but because you created it. Was anything that you have in that baggage controllable? Is it something you put there but could not put there? So just take a minute as you jump through, try to figure out, why is all this crap in my baggage? Why am I carrying all this stuff around? So I have one thing that I want you to listen to, and I want you to listen to it very, very carefully. It's important that you hear it. It is not the events in our lives that create the baggage. It's how we perceive, experience, and process them that creates the baggage. Or, in a great situation, leaves no baggage for you to carry. Now, once again, I'm going to say it once again because I want to make sure you heard it. It's not the event that creates the baggage. It's how we perceive, experience, and process that event that creates what that baggage is. In short, we all have baggage. We all carry some of it through life. But at that foundation of that one message, what is real clear to me is that we can choose whether to carry the pain of the event or to carry the lessons from the event. Now, pain is inevitable, it's part of life. Remember, it's what we do with it, how we perceive it, that determines how it impacts our life. Don't take this as a criticism, because we're all human. And on any given day, the only thing we can do is the best that we can do. And some days are better than others. And some days, despite our bestest efforts, we somehow end up with a new piece of baggage that day. One of the reasons that this happens is that we live in a state of duality: good versus bad, holy versus evil, black versus white, smart versus stupid, rich versus poor. And the problem with that growing list of duality means that we don't get to experience all the wonderful shades in between those two opposite ends. And guess what, folks? The healing is usually right in the middle. So if we skew ourselves far to one side or far to the other side, we miss a healing opportunity. And that's what creates the baggage. Got me so far?
Got it.
Good.
I'm on the train with you.
All right. So let's take a look at what packing our bags looks like. Okay? Girl, guess what happened to me? Please, you're not going to believe this. And it hurts so much. I can't believe that really happened. Oh my God, I can still feel the pain as if it were yesterday. It's like a gaping wound. But it happened so long ago. Will the pain ever end? Memory experts say if you hear something 3 times, it attaches itself to a neural pathway in your brain. So for the third and last time, I'm going to say it is not the event that creates the baggage. It's how we perceive, experience, and process that event. So if we decide today that we don't want to carry any more baggage, then what would the process look like if we decided not to pack our bags on that day we felt some pain? It could look like, girl, guess what happened to me? Yeah, it happened a while ago. It hurt like hell. I'm still in shock, but ooh, here's where we flip the script. I remember it like it was yesterday. It still stings a bit sometimes, but I'm thankful it doesn't hurt like it used to. Yes, it left a scar. It definitely left a scar. But guess what? It's my battle scar because I survived. That's how you create a situation. That's how you look at an event so that the outcome is a lesson to carry, which is not nearly as heavy as the pain. So, to make good use of this concept, you have to understand one thing: you have to go through the pain, you have to process the pain. There's no sweeping it under the rug, there's no forgetting about it, there's definitely no just get over it. It angers me when I hear people say just get over it. So, when I say that, it kind of reminds me of a high school cheer that we used to do. So I'm going to ask everybody out there to clap their hands and cheer with me and repeat these words after me. Okay, here we go. Clap with me. There we go. We're going to tear a wall down.
Gonna tear a wall down.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
How are we going to do that?
How we gonna do that?
We can't go over it.
We can't go over it.
We can't slide under it.
We can't slide under it.
We can't go around it.
We can't go around it.
We gotta go through it.
We gotta go through it.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Let's just go.
Let's just go.
Yay! Everybody good job. So while this cheer is about winning, we need to understand that winning is not always about vanquishing the enemy. Sometimes it's just about putting your pain within the context of your life story. It happens. It happened. And I've survived. So let me say one thing as I talk about putting feelings and experiences and perceptions in their place in your life. For the most part, for most humans, anger is the go-to emotion. But let me tell you something. I think you probably have already heard this a zillion times, but I'm going to repeat it for you. And that is, anger is a let's just go. Thanks, Herbie. Anger is a secondary emotion. A second before you feel that anger, there's another emotion that lies just under the surface. But anger makes us feel powerful and invincible, but more importantly, keeps people away from us. Yes. So we don't have to explain how we really feel. Mm-hmm. Now, what is actually lying under the surface of anger? Well, it could be any number of things. It could be embarrassment, it could be rejection, it could be shame, it could be fear or helplessness or depression or guilt. It could be so many more words than that. So it's important that when you feel anger coming on, kind of stop before you respond in that angry manner and see if you can get to right what's under the surface, and then begin to talk about and deal what the true feeling is. Now, we don't want to do that because it hurts. So anger is that go-to thing that we grab onto to keep the truly uncomfortable experiences away from us, to keep them hidden below the surface. So at some point when working through pain, we discovered sometimes that there's a lesson in the event that maybe we could learn. So maybe as we're beginning to process pain, we want to ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this experience? What can I learn from what I am feeling right now? Well, one thing you may learn is how to manage what you're feeling right then, so that it doesn't become something that sits with you for the rest of your life. Maybe there truly is a lesson for you to learn, something that you could have done differently, or something that maybe was too far a reach and you maybe should have avoided the situation. This is, again, not intended to make you feel guilty about anything. It's just that as human beings, we tend to interact as best we can, and sometimes that interaction just does not mesh well. We speak different languages. And I don't mean that in an ethnic way. I mean plain old English. We hear differently, speak differently, we interpret differently.
Absolutely.
So if you remember the lessons, again, you carry that lesson with you through life. You don't carry the pain. And yes, the pain doesn't always go completely away. And sometimes it can come back and sting you when you least expect it. But the good part about it is that you've already processed it one time. So once you've processed it, you know exactly what you need to do to process it again. And it becomes less sharp and less painful every time you experience it. And eventually it just becomes a misty-eyed memory. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't sting like it used to. Mm-hmm. So allow yourself to feel that pain. Allow yourself to feel, to fully experience whatever emotions happen to be running through your body at the moment. Let it flow through your body, however. Don't give it a home. Sometimes in order to process it, we have to sit with it for a while. We have to sit with it so we can be clear on what it is processing. Process the right thing. If there's a myriad of emotions, of course that's going to take longer. And there is no time limit on pain. No time limit on grief. So remember, take as much time as you need. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Treat you like you would treat a friend who was going through that same thing. But above all, don't give that pain a place to sit and grow inside your body. Don't give it a place in your heart. Don't give it a place in your head. Don't give it a place anywhere. And that is a difficult task because I think most of you already know the body keeps score. It remembers all the pain, all the hurt, all the negative things we have ever experienced. And if we try to run from those feelings rather than process them, we create a process of dissonance within our body. That creates a dis-ease within your system. That's why they call it disease. Dis-ease, which literally can make you sick. So it's also not only mentally healthy to process your pain correctly, it is also physically healthy to learn how to process your feelings and emotions correctly. Anybody have any questions that they want to right? Oh,
Well, if I see some pop up over here, please feel free to ask questions. Please feel free to comment. We want to hear from you, see you, all that kind of good stuff. Kira, have you experienced with your clients where it just seems like one thing follows another thing, and just bad things just keep happening, and then they get to that point where they're like, well, this is just my life now. They create that belief system. So if somebody finds himself in a really vicious cycle like that, how do you help them move past it? Or what suggestions do you generally give?
what I generally do with the client, one of the first things I actually do with the client, even before I know that they are, or even before that kind of turn of events can happen, is I try to get them to understand that pain is neither good nor bad. Bad is a value word. And when you add value to something, it gives it more weight. So if we call pain bad, it makes it feel heavier. Pain is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Pain hurts. Pain makes us depressed. Pain makes us sad. Pain may even make us ashamed. Is that bad or is it just uncomfortable? You decide for yourself. So I try to take them to a place where they can understand that distinction, that if you remove the value that you attach to the event and the feeling you have, then you also take some of the sting out of the event. That's where the saying "it is what it is" comes from, because that's exactly what life is. It is what it is. It's neither good nor bad. There are great things that happen. There are uncomfortable things that happen. There are positive things that happen. There are negative things that happen. There are wonderful things that happen. There are devastating things that happen. But good or bad is a value judgment. And that value judgment is based on the person and the personality. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that's great. That helps, because what I've learned along the way and has been, if I'm making choices, if I can at least get to where I'm making a choice, whether it's a choice that leads me to a, like you said, a good scenario, I know at least one thing is going to happen. I will probably pop out of victimhood. I might go directly into angryhood. But I love that you gave some qualifying words there, because this is the deal for me, is that I was like, I'm furious. Why am I so angry? And when you said the word embarrassment, Embarrassment makes me angry. When somebody like pulls me out and says, "You're this" in front of someone or something, even if it's playful, I use those scare quotes legitimately because some people are joking and they're not, they're just passive aggressive.
That's
And
right.
so it's like, so if somebody does that and then I get angry, I love that because the embarrassment part, whew, that's the part that really gets me. Or anyone telling me who I am or what they think I'm doing. I'm an INFJ, MBTI. That's my thing. I'm an INFJ, and very
That's
few
mine,
people.
actually.
Are you really? Girl, it is.
Not like being out of control.
Yeah.
That's me. I cannot stand being out of control.
It's so true. It's so true because we know the way. Do you know why we know the way? Because we have pattern recognition. We are going to see the outcome way ahead of time. That's why people think we're so intuitive and psychic when it's really just we're just seeing things more clearly because of this function we have in our brain. So totally, when somebody thinks they see me better than I see me, and then they tell people about it, I'm like, oh, it frustrates me. So when you said embarrassed, that hit me, you know, and I think some of the other words, guilt and shame, and the underneath that will keep us try to protect ourselves. Oh, it's so huge. But yeah, I've noticed that as long as I'm making a choice, even if it's one that leads me down a road that I might not like,
right,
it's a good thing.
Right.
And there's some people saying, oh, sorry. It's a great outlook. It is what it is. It's not good or bad. That's really important.
It helps keep things on a more even plane. Evil? Where'd that come from? Even plane. That is not to say that I am always on an even plane. This is what I strive for. This is what I truly believe in. This is what I practice in my life on a daily basis. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like my brain pops out of my head. How being human, not being, I just kind of have to give myself a pass on that sometimes.
Yes. But the cool thing about being an INFJ, and Alicia's an INFJ too, is that we can pretty much hold it quietly to ourselves. But inside, it's like this churning molten lava thing that's happening. So it feels like insanity, but externally, we're just like this. There's nothing really happening out here.
You got a good poker face. My poker face is not as good. My friends can look at me and go, not coming near you today. Everybody folks. It is not safe over there. I'm not going over there.
So I don't have any children, but my girlfriend, she said years ago, she said, you know what? She said, I think if you had children or you have children, you're just going to give them the mama look and it'll be all over. Like I think we extend our energy out a lot. Like, okay, we're not doing this today. You know, this isn't an INFJ conversation, but I'm just so excited because guys, seriously, there's not many INFJs out there. And when you find one of your own, you love them with all your heart.
That's why we have that instant chemistry.
Yes. Yeah.
We are the same at the core.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see if I have any other questions. Oh my gosh. So at least say, oh my God, yes, I'm so calm on the outside.
And on the inside, or like a cauldron of lava.
Yes.
You to the top.
I think it's so important that we see that, especially as introverts or intuitive feelers. There's a ton of intuitive feelers that are going to be watching this program. These people are like NFs, and it's so important that we know what's going on with our emotions. That's why this topic is so important, that you're bringing to us to say, hey, oops, I lost her. She'll be back. How do I really feel about that? How do I really want to express that? Hi, she's going to come back. There she is. Hold on.
Oh my God. I'm not sure what happened. Suddenly nobody was there.
But you came back on so fast. That was so quick.
Anyway, so I want to share with you all an acronym that I use when I'm processing feelings. And the more I use it, actually, the more helpful it has become to me. And so I try to run everything through that filter. So the acronym is FCC. F, can I fix it? C, can I control it? And then C, can I change it? 3 important questions about any event, experience, feeling, whatever you happen to be dealing with right in that moment. Can I fix it? Can I control it? Or can I change it? If the answer to any of those questions is yes, then by all means fix it. By all means, if you can control it, control it. By all means, can I change it? If you can, absolutely do so, if that is the healthy thing to do. This is where that control thing comes in, not so handy. Because we want to fix, control, and change everything so that it's within our control all the time. So we have to be real careful about that.
Yes.
So if the answer, however, to those questions is no, then we've got to learn how to walk away gracefully. And
how do we do that, Carra?
I
Gracefully.
shut down at that point. It takes me a while to work through the acronym, but once I get to that last one, can I really do anything about this? No. Okay, I have to walk away. I have to go in the corner, lick my wounds, and then process it and move on with my life, because there's nothing I can do about it. There's no value in me utilizing my valuable energy trying to change a situation that I literally cannot fix, change, or control. Now, if you find yourself in danger, then my suggestion is run. Don't walk away. Run. Okay. But again, this is such a subjective thing, and it depends on what you're dealing with at the moment.
Right.
And it's not the answer for every time you feel pain, because sometimes when you feel pain, you can fix, change, or control it. Sometimes you can't. Then walk away. Walk away. Find a way to give yourself permission not to let the pain come through and walk away. Now, if you find yourself later on feeling some of it, then let's process it. Process the pain. So a great example that I can give you for how I've used that very recently is, sometimes when you have friends and you can kind of feel them pulling away, and something in the friendship has changed, but you don't know what's different, just kind of feel it. But what happened with me was I just tortured myself. What did I do? What did I say? Because I have a quick mouth sometimes also. So can I change it? Can I fix it? I don't. There must be something I could do. And when we find ourselves in that situation, we cry and we plead and cajole anything to try to change it so that we don't lose a friend. And we tend to cling and try to hang on. And by the time the situation is resolved, in quotes, the friendship is actually burnt to a crisp because you brought so much drama into it that the person has decided they're just tired and they don't want to be bothered with it. So recently last November in fall, I began to feel some distance from somebody that I love dearly. And so I asked, what's wrong? And she said nothing. I'm like, okay.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. Something's different. So I said, you feel distant. I'm not, she said. Okay. That didn't sit. And then I said, it feels like you're leaving me. And she said, I'm not. And I thought, none of it sat with me. None of it sat with me. I knew she was speaking her truth, but her truth did not resonate with my truth. And because all I really care about is my truth.
Let's be real honest.
Yeah, let's just be real. All we really care about is our truth. Then I continued to quiz and query and question and use all my little therapeutic, skills to try to go in the back door, up under it, up around it. One day, I realized I'm not going to get a different answer here. She is clearly speaking her truth. Her perception of what's going on is different than my perception. So my truth in this case is different than her truth. And her truth is not painful for her, but it was painful for me. One morning I woke up and I remember the saying, and this isn't the whole saying, but it was something like, some people come into your life for a season, some people come into your life for a reason. But every time someone comes into your life, they leave a lesson behind. So I pondered that for a while, and I went into FCC mode. And I thought, is there really anything I can do to fix this? Well, no, something was different, but it was beyond my reach. So there was really nothing I could do to fix it. Was there anything I could do to change it? Well, with no additional information, I didn't know what needed to be changed. So no, I couldn't change it. Was there anything I could do to control it? Nope. We cannot and should not attempt to control human beings. So no, the humane, reasonable adult, that's a funny word, answer,
Subjective.
yeah, subjective, was I can do nothing to control this. So I made the only decision that I could make in that moment, and I opened my arms and I let her go. The friendship now is still intact. We aren't as close as we used to be, but we still talk, and I miss her. She seems happy. She makes me happy when we talk. And the reason she's still my friend is because I chose not to dump all of my needy drama upon her. So in processing baggage, this is what not packing my bags looks like. Situation. Girl, guess what happened to me? That I love moved away from me. It hurt like hell. I felt abandoned. It still hurts because sometimes I miss her closeness. But I'm so grateful that I was and am loved. Yes, it left a scar in my heart, but it's my battle scar because I survived. That's how you process what goes in the bag and what doesn't go in the bag. So I just have one closing comment to make.
Okay.
We'll open it up for questions and comments. And what I want to let you all know, if you haven't figured this out yet, I love life. Lots of scars, lots of lessons. And yes, still, I love life. On baggage, I work every day on lightening the load. Sometimes it's not possible. What you have to remember is life is dirty and it's grimy, but it's joyful and it's loving. And I want you all to embrace it all and value it all. And my feeling is that when my time has come and I reach the finish line, I want to go across the finish line, skidding across home plate with mud on my face and bloody knees and busted elbows, screaming at the top of my lungs, wow, what a friggin' ride. Can I go again?
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, is my wish for you. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention. So glad to have been able to do this.
Carra, that's awesome. Wow, what a ride. I want to do it again. Girl, you can take my seat next time.
Okay. I don't stop eating. I may need both seats.
Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Alicia's saying, "Oh, mourn the loss of your friend. This is beautiful." Yes, yes. This is so wonderful. I always enjoy connecting with you. And I think is this our first time seeing each other, actually seeing each other?
Yes, it is. Hi, Carra.
Hi. I'm like, oh my God, how have I not seen you and talked to you in person? But I love everything that you were saying. This has been such a joy, and you are such a joy. Thank you for being a part of my life. You are just so wonderful. Let's see, what else do we have to say? This is wonderful. Thank you so much. Way to go out. You guys are fantastic. Carra, I sent you a friend request.
Awesome. I will respond.
Perfect. Carra, what is your website so I can put this in the comments also?
My work website or personal? Work?
Your work, whatever you want these folks to know.
Okay. So, my private practice is called Peace from Pieces. So my website is Peace, P-E-A-C-E, from Pieces, P-I-E-C-E-S, at Gmail. .net.
Boom. Piece from Pieces. I did this right.
It's on my business cards. I should have kept one with me.
No, I've got it on the description as well, but I just wanted to also go ahead and pop it up here.
So if for some reason .net doesn't work, then try .com.
There you go. Just keep looking. Just keep looking.
Just go from Pieces. It'll come up.
Don't stop. And then I do want to so when it comes to when you're pulling the baggage out, you've already packed it, you got everything, and you're pulling it out. Would you suggest doing that FCC method again and just working through whatever might be in there?
Yes, that would be exactly how you do it. Now, one of the things I figured out is that baggage is like your storage unit. You know how they always say if you haven't seen something in 6 months, you don't need it, throw it away before you look at it. So if you've got a piece of baggage that's years old, maybe the best thing you can do is just make a conscious decision to look at it, say a Hail Mary over it, tuck it, rather than opening up all the wounds.
Love it.
Write it on a piece of paper and burn it or something like that. Find a way to release it into the atmosphere and set yourself free from that. Now, if we're talking recent things that are still hurting at the same level, yes, take it out, look at it, examine it, look at it from the front and the bottom and the upside, and see what lesson, see if you can pull out the lesson in that experience. Ask it, what did I learn from experiencing you? Talk to it, have a conversation with it. Put it in your hands, hold it close to your heart. What did I learn from you? Your heart will tell you what you need to know. And once you figure that out, once you open yourself up to that process, it gets a little easier and easier for you to be able to do it with just about everything. So it doesn't become monumental enough to even go in a bag. It just goes into the story of your life. And so when you're telling your life story, you're saying, yep, that happened. And yep, that happened too. And yep, that happened. But look, scar, survivor.
Bloody hands, knees, and elbows. Woo!
Do it again.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Carra, for joining us. Peacefrompieces.net or .com. We don't know. And it doesn't even matter. You'll find it. And thank you guys again so much for joining us on this beautiful journey of Voices of Wisdom. Our first season is complete with a beautiful Dr. Carra Sargent right here with us. And I am so incredibly grateful for everyone who has joined us. I'm going to do a drawing over in the Voices of Wisdom group later on today. So you might want to join us.
Huh? Car?
A car?
Car? I need a new car.
You get a car. You get a car. Yeah, I don't got the Oprah budget.
You get a car.
I don't have the Oprah budget yet.
You will.
Oh my gosh. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us for this beautiful first season. Everything has just gone so beautifully well. Voices have been risen. Is that right? How do I say that? And I'm so, so grateful for those who've been supporting us, all of the people who have rallied for this show and for this program. Thank you so much, Liz Donahue at Mishka Productions and Celebrate Your Life. Please go out to celebrateyourlife.com and check out all of the events that she has going on. They are life-changing and transformative. I will probably see you guys back again for another season of Voices of Wisdom, but for now, we are all done. Love you guys so much. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful, beautiful summer. I hope all of your dreams and wishes come true.
Yes.
So it is.
So it be.
That's right.
Bye. Everybody take care.